We can never get away from talking about Apple, and today is the best day to do it because you can now buy the newly unveiled iPad Air and the new version of the iPad Mini. So to tell us about some of the details of both those, ABC News technology editor Joanna Stern. Joanna, look at that thing.
Can you see me?
I can barely see that.
You can barely see me, I bet.
Is that the iPad Air you've got in your hands?
I know. It's as thin as air. It's almost like you just can't even see me.
Well, let me ask you this though, because the iPad was already pretty thin to begin with. But I mean, seriously, it's a substantial change.
Well, the thinness is definitely a substantial change. I don't have the older one with me right here, but if you're used to using an iPad 2 or an iPad 3 or an iPad 4, and you sort of are used to that heaviness of it, sort of the fact that like it hurts your arm after a while to hold with one hand, you don't have that with this. This is like a substantial upgrade when you talk about the thin and lightness here. I mean, this is just a pound. So the biggest change, yes, comes to the aesthetic of this, just a thinner and lighter tablet from Apple.
All right, so what about if I do have the older iPad? What's the biggest change I'm going to see then, either system-wise or operationally?
Well, there's a couple of internal upgrades. You get a faster processor now. You get just as good battery life, which is a pretty big feat when you consider how thin and light this is. But I'm really saying that if you've got an iPad 2 or an iPad 1, this is going to be a nice upgrade. You're probably thinking about upgrading already. But if you've already got that iPad 3 or 4, or it's kind of mixed in there, what were those model numbers? You bought it in the last year or two. This is not going to be a necessary upgrade. There's no reason to run out today, stand in line and buy this tablet. You're going to be good to go for, I think, another year or two with that current tablet. But if it's really important to you and you've been feeling like your arm is falling off when you're carrying that tablet around, then you might want to go trade it in.
Or join a gym, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Or join a gym. That's also a good idea. That'll probably be cheaper.
That's very true. This is why I like going to you, Joanna, because you give me the straight on this. It's like you're telling me obviously there are some improvements to it, but at the same time, though, they're incremental improvements, right?
Absolutely. This is not a revolutionary upgrade.
Okay.
Is it an evolutionary upgrade? Yes. They have definitely done some really nice things with the product. You get that faster processor inside for better gaming, better multimedia experience. Really the biggest thing, though, like I said before, is the upgrade to the hardware here.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off.
No.
Sorry.
And I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, they're smaller upgrades, and people keep asking me, so what do you think of the new iPad? I mean, my main answer is it's an iPad, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Apple, in my opinion, still makes the best tablet on the market. It's not a bad thing to say that this is just another iPad.
So what about the iPad Mini, right? It's got the new Retina display.
Yes, so this is the biggest question I'm actually getting. So it's either, do I need to upgrade, or should I get that mini, or should I get the big size now? And really the only difference between now the Air and the mini that's going to come out in a couple of weeks with the Retina display is the size of the screen. And also the price. It's a $100 difference, but it's really the size of the screen. You get the same kind of screen resolution, you get the same processor, you're getting the same software. All of that's going to stay the same. The difference is that screen size. And I think the big thing for people to ask themselves is, how are they using this tablet? If they're using this tablet to give to their kids who are gaming and watching movies, they're probably still better with the bigger screen. If you are using it to, let's say, just read books or read magazines or websites at night in bed just as a personal device, you might be better with the mini.
Sage advice and recommendations on this. And what's coming out for the holidays? I'm putting you on the spot here. What else are we keeping our eye on?
Well, tablets, definitely tablets, and my review, which will go up soon on the iPad Air on abcnews.com. Everyone should read it when it goes up. I'm really talking about this fight for the tablet market, and how I think all of these companies are just going to be marketing the heck out of tablets. And I think, obviously the iPad's still in the lead there. You're still getting the best applications, but you're going to see a ton of these companies really marketing. Microsoft with the Surface commercials, Google with the Nexus commercials, tons of marketing towards tablets. Other than that, I think you're looking at the usual suspects for the gifts, right? You're looking at phones, you're looking at speaker docks, looking at all kinds of exciting stuff to put underneath the tree.
All right, sounds good. At Joanna Stern. Follow Twitter.
Me.
Because the advice that you dole out, frankly, I think is invaluable. I mean, you can pay for any kind of subscription to other kind of tech advice.
Or you can pay me. Everyone. Or you know what you can do? This week they released this tweet a coffee. Everyone can tweet me coffees. You can go through Starbucks site and tweet me a coffee.
You are caffeinated enough. I'm not going to encourage that kind of behavior. ABC's technology editor, Joanna Stern. Joanna, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, Dan.
Thank you. Of course, you can keep up with the latest tech news and business news right here on abcnews.com. You've been watching the Opening Bell Report. I'm Dan Kleffler in New York.